I loved you in the quiet ways, in words I never dared to say. I smiled when you were close to me, then cried when you walked away. I memorized your tired eyes, the way you laughed, the way you lied. You never knew my heart was breaking while I stood right by your side. I was always just a shadow in your sunlight, in your glow. You were chasing someone else while I was letting myself go. I loved you quietly so you could stay happy. I hid my tears in every smile, pretended I was free. I loved you quietly while you loved someone new. I stayed behind the memories, still holding on to you. We talked like nothing was wrong, like my heart was never gone. You told me about your dreams, I listened, knowing I was not one. I watched you fall in love again with someone braver than I am, and I clapped for you with broken hands, hoping you wouldn't understand. I wanted to tell you everything, but fear became my only friend, because I knew the moment I spoke was the moment everything would end. I loved you quietly so you could stay happy. I hid my tears in every smile, pretended I was free. I loved you quietly while you loved someone new. I stayed behind in memories, still holding on to you. Maybe in another life I would be the one you choose, but in this life I learned the truth. Love doesn't always win, it bruises. I don't blame you for not knowing, I blame myself for loving slow, for loving deep, for loving long, for never letting my heart show. I loved you quietly, not asking to be seen. I was just a place you rested, not the place you wanted to be. I loved you quietly, and now I let you go. But part of me will always stay in the love you'll never know. I loved you. I loved you quietly. You held my hand like it was temporary, like something you could always replace. I held your hand like it was the last thing keeping me in the same space. You spoke about love like it was simple, like hearts were easy to forget, while I was building my entire world inside every word you said. I was learning how to stay while you were learning how to leave. We were standing in the same moment, but believing different things. You never loved me back, you just loved the way I tried. You loved the comfort of my presence, not the fire in my eyes. You never who didn't love you like I did. And somehow you looked happier with a heart that barely tried. I learned that loving harder doesn't make love stay. Sometimes it only makes you the one who fades away. You told me I was special, but not special enough to keep. I was the place you rested in, not the place you chose to sleep. I confused kindness with connection, attention with affection too. I thought your silence meant confusion, but it only meant I'm me and you. You never loved me back, you just loved that I was there. You loved the way I understood, not the love I tried to share. I don't hate you for not loving me, I hate myself for hoping you might, for turning every small kindness into a promise in my mind. I should've known from the beginning, from the way you said my name, that I was never part of your future, just a chapter without a page. You never loved me back, but I loved you enough for two. And maybe that's why losing you still feels harder than it should. You never loved me back. You never loved me back, but I love you with everything I had. I stayed in rooms you already left, with conversations you forgot. I stayed inside the promises you never meant, but never stopped. I learned your silence by heart, like a language I could read. Every pause was another way you were telling me to leave. You talked about tomorrow freely, like I wasn't part of it at all. And I listened like a stranger, leaning quietly on your wall. I knew my place was temporary, but I pretended it was home, because even borrowed love feels warmer than alone. I stayed where I wasn't chosen, I loved where I wasn't seen. I built a future in my heart where you had never been. I stayed where I wasn't chosen until I disappeared, trying to prove I was enough to someone. stayed long enough to learn how to leave.
We met when we were broken, still carrying other names, still healing from old endings, still afraid of new mistakes.
You touched me like a question, I held you like a maybe. We both wanted forever, but didn't know how to stay.
We were right for each other, but wrong for the time. We were ready for love, just not ready to be mine. We loved each other too late, when our hearts were already tired, when our past was still louder than the future we desired. We loved each other too late, but we loved each other true. And that's why losing you still feels harder than losing love. You wanted me to trust again, I wanted you to wait. We were both scared of repeating everything we used to hate.
I loved you in the present, you loved me in tomorrow. We couldn't meet in the same place without borrowing each other's sorrow.
We didn't fail because we didn't care, we failed because we cared too deep. And sometimes love is not about staying, it's about knowing when to leave.
We loved each other too late, when our hearts were already tired, when our pasts were still louder than the future we desired.
We loved each other too late, but we loved each other true. And that's why losing you still feels harder than losing love. Maybe in another season we would grow the same way. Maybe in another lifetime we wouldn't be afraid. We loved each other too late,
But I'm glad I loved you at all,
because some loves don't last forever, but they teach you how to fall
and
how to stand again. We loved each other too late, but beautifully.
I used to think my heart was empty without your name inside. I used to think love was only real if you were by my side. But then I learned to breathe again in rooms without your voice. I learned that staying broken is still a choice. I cried in places you never knew, I healed in ways you never saw. And slowly, quietly, I became someone I wasn't before. I learned to love without you, not because I stopped caring, but because I stopped breaking, just to prove I was worthy. I learned to love without you, and somehow I survived. I lost you in my story, but I found myself inside. I stopped checking your name at night. I stopped blaming my heart. I stopped turning every memory into another star. I learned that love is not a war. You don't have to lose to win. Sometimes loving yourself is where love begins. You were a chapter, not the book, a lesson, not my fate. And I thank you for the pain, because it taught me how to stay. I learned to love without you. Now I'm not afraid to say that losing you was not my end. It was my way. I learned to love without you. Not in a land of love. I learned to love, and I live. And I lived. You were my almost morning, my almost every night, my almost reason to believe that everything was right. We almost built a lifetime from moments we couldn't hold. We almost grew old together before we grew old. You were the love I never lost, but never truly had. You were the best thing in my life that made me sad. You were my almost forever, my maybe, my almost us, my story that never finished because we weren't enough. You were my almost forever, and that hurts more than goodbye, because almost means we were close to a different love. I still remember how you said my name.